Hi, everyone. I am Justin Hinkle with Suitcase Designs. I want to welcome everybody. This is our first Suitcase Designs webinar. Um, we're looking at analytics today, from clicks to clients. So we're going to learn analytics hacks that drive more travel bookings. We're going to learn how to understand the terms and read the analytics on your website so that you understand um, where people are coming from, what they're interested in on your website, and what you can do to improve and make data-driven decisions that'll lead to more bookings and engagement. So Suitcase Designs, we focus specifically on travel agency websites. We want to help travel agents in the industry be able to improve their websites and improve the decisions they're making on their websites. So again, welcome everybody, and I'll go ahead and get started. So why should travel agents care about analytics? So first off, you can improve client engagement. What that means is you can see what their preferences are. You can see what pages they're going to on your site. You can see if they are hanging out in the destinations area for Hawaii or for Disney, and you can promote that a little differently on your website going forward if that's the case, that you're seeing a lot of preference for that service. You can boost your bookings, and what we mean by that is really refining the data to make sure people are looking at your call to actions and clicking on your call to actions. You can see if Instagram and Facebook are working for you, if you have people coming from those platforms to your website, to make sure your marketing there is working. If you're running Google Ads or SEO, who's coming from Google to your website. And that'll help boost your bookings because the more people on your website, and then having a strong call to action with a page that's refined for conversion, will help you get more calls scheduled with you. And then it's to stay competitive, because the market is growing. Not everybody's looking at this stuff. And so just being here yourselves to start taking the time to learn about analytics is a really big deal to be competitive in an industry that has a lot of travel agents putting up, maybe their template website, but they're not really looking at analytics or how that works. And you can get ahead of them with this type of information at your fingertips. So some foundational terms for travel agents, and this is actually for everybody, but page views versus unique visitors. Page views are how many times your pages are viewed, while unique visitors, they help you see how many individual people are exploring your website. So you might have one unique visitor who comes back and views your page 3 or 4 times. So you can see, are people coming back and really engaging and want to know more, or they visit once and they don't come back at all. That's definitely something to consider when you're looking at your analytics. Bounce rate, that's letting you know if visitors are leaving without exploring further on your website. So perhaps they hit your homepage and then leave. They don't click the button to schedule a consultation. They don't go look at your about page. They're not interested in your services. That'll be like 100% bounce rate. That a higher bounce rate means people are leaving without exploring further. Now, if you're seeing visitors with a high bounce rate but lots of views, that means visitors are coming back and still interested in what you have, but perhaps you could refine your page and make it a little more engaging in a way that drives them to a clear conversion, a clear call to action. And then session duration. How long are they spending on your sites? If they're sticking around, that means there's a higher interest in what you have on your site, and that's a good thing. So you want to do more of that throughout your website, and it really helps you learn what's working and what's not. All right, so success metrics for websites. Traffic sources tell you where your visitors come from. So like I said before, are they coming from social media, search engines, referrals from other websites? If you're participating in, say, the Better Business Bureau or something, and you have a link back from there, is it coming from that website? I'll sometimes get websites like, oh, COB, Careers on Vacation, Wanderlust CEO, I can see if someone's coming from there to view our website versus someone directly typing in our domain name to come to our website. Now, conversion rate, that's very important. That's the ultimate measure of success. That's how many visitors are taking the desired action on your website. The desired action being your call to action, whether that's schedule a consultation or fill out some type of form to request a booking, travel information, whatever you're really trying to get them to do. And you need to be clear about that on your website, what you want your visitors to do. If visitors drop off at the itinerary page or booking form, that's a cue to improve that page with clearer call to actions, better imagery, faster load speeds, things like that. Make sure your text is concise and really speaking the visitor's language. That'll help your conversion rate, because if people are falling off, that's lost sales to you, and you don't even get to talk to them to help them through the process. Click-through rate. So what that is, it helps you understand how well your links or buttons are performing. So you can monitor the effectiveness of your call to action buttons or links that you might have to some people like links to your blog, for example, or links to a lead magnet of some sort. So the click-through rate will tell you what's working the strongest for you. How many visitors take that action? And that's kind of hand in hand with the conversion rate. So you want to look at both of those in that sense. So why do we care? Why are analytics a game changer for travel agents? Well, there are unique advantages to this for us. You can discover which destinations are most popular. You can focus your marketing efforts on a popular emerging destination, like particular cruises. Maybe you have a group trip and you can see, maybe you got a few group trips planned and you can see which one's getting the most engagement. Are they laid out differently? Are you presenting them the same way? Maybe one is more interesting than the other for that season of year. And you can really lean into that by seeing this and making these decisions based on the analytics that you see on your website. Seasonal trends, so you can plan campaigns during peak seasons. So you can time your marketing campaigns, whether, from your social media and your promotions to your lead magnet on your website during high traffic periods for specific things, like in wave season coming up, people will be looking at summer vacations, maybe spring break if they haven't already planned that. Holiday trips and cruise seasons, you'll be able to really see where your peak periods are by month for people visiting your website. There might be dead times when school's starting because, everybody's worried about getting their kids back to school. So there's less focus on planning the next vacation. But then October rolls around and people start planning again. What are they doing over the holidays? What about a Christmas, present for winter break to go skiing somewhere or something, or a cruise to get away? So that really helps you identify some of the trends and visitors to your website and how you should focus those marketing efforts. And you want to focus efforts on what works. So you can look at marketing channels that perform the best. Instagram for showcasing your travel photos and being kind of behind the scenes. You can work on the SEO on your website for ranking in searches. The obvious one is travel agent near me. That's the most common search for a travel agent on Google. And so you want to make sure your website is clear that where you're located, because you are going to get a lot of local business too, especially as you're starting to grow your business from the beginning. So analytics can improve the client experience. So that's a very practical use, is to solve client pain points on your website. Like it says, you can spot issues if your pages are slow loading. People are going to leave. If your call to actions being ineffective, they're not clear, that people want to know what they're going to get when they press that button, whether it is filling out a form, scheduling a consultation, or maybe it's just the button for the lead magnet or to get more information on a group trip. they need to know what's clear, and you'll be able to see these ineffective pages, call to actions, or maybe imagery that doesn't inspire them. If we have bland, low quality pictures on our websites, that's bad for SEO. That's bad for analytics because people are just going to bounce. You can ensure smoother bookings by eliminating obstacles. So by resolving the issues and just creating a smoother client experience, those obstacles will be out of the way and people are going to be more inclined to work with you because your website's going to look more professional. It's going to draw them in. And it is, these are all things that you can refine your website. The verbiage, you want to always make that about the client. I know that's a different thing I always talk about, but you want to make it about the client, your experience, but what does that mean to them? And you don't want to be overly verbose because that'll cause people to leave your page early because they get overwhelmed. So you want to be concise, bullet points, small paragraphs, lots of white space, and really appealing high quality images. Those are things that you can see if people are leaving your page, you can work on to improve. Using insights to adapt quickly to trends. So trends in this sense, for us, travel destinations, if everybody's always going to your Hawaii page, you can really kind of bring some of that forward and talk about how you're an expert in Hawaii and how that's a primary thing that you want to be known for and really help drive up conversions that way for yourself. So the Google Search Console, this is a free tool. This isn't Google Analytics. This is Google Search Console. So you can look that up on Google and hook it to your website. It will see which keywords are driving traffic to your website. For example, my website, one of the keywords is suitcase designs. That's an obvious one, but that's actually our highest keyword. People will search for that and find us because they're looking for us specifically there. But we also have like travel agency website design as a keyword that gets some conversion to us. And you can see where you have a keyword you should lean into, or maybe there's a keyword you want to get known for. So keywords are things, they're not just one word. They can be phrases. Like I said, travel agency website design. You want to be ranking for those things that are important to you and your business and your website. When you're doing that, you want that in the metadata of your website. And this is all around SEO, improving SEO for your analytics. And then also on page. So on my page, I talk about being travel agency website design company. So that way Google knows, okay, this is what they are. It matches this. People are looking for that and they can line you up. It'll also look if you're advertising with Google, you'll see your budget being spent wisely because you can pick keywords that you want them to put your ads up for. So if you want to be known for Disney vacations, you want to be known for Disney World, you want to rank in that, but you want to be more specific than that too. Like Disney World multi-generational vacations, because everybody wants to go to Disney World. There's a lot of competition there, but you want to niche down in that sense, even in your keywords, so you can be specific and Google will know to send people to you versus someone who's more generic in their SEO. And so you can also, with Google Console, see crawl errors. So what crawl means is Google crawls your site. They scan your site, they log all the information on it for them to know and when they should serve it up in a search. In the Google Search Console, you can see if a web page hasn't been crawled. So that means it's not going to come up in search. That's not a great thing. You could have your whole website, if it's not crawled, Google can't serve it up at all. So having Google Search Console is a very good idea for everybody to attach to their website so they can go ahead and see how they're performing out there from an analytics perspective with Google. It'll tell you about your click-through rate, which I'll talk about here in a second. I'm going to show you a live example about that. The click-through rate from Google is how many times people see your website in the search results versus how many times people click on it. And a good click-through rate can be anywhere from like 2 to 5%. Like it's not much when you think about how many web searches are going on every day, every second. But that analytic will let you know if your SEO is even working in the first place to get people to your website. And then URL insights, it lets you see how Google views your site, like how it's going to display your site. Do you have metadata, or is it just pulling random text from your page to put in its description? This is really a must-have for any website owner. I would recommend it. And really, to start leveraging analytics today, go out and review your website metrics. There are some different tools for this. There's Google Analytics, which is a little harder to set up. Google Search Console is actually extremely easy to set up, but it's pretty technical still from that standpoint. And then there's independent analytics. So if you have a WordPress site, independent analytics is what I use that on all my sites too to review them. It will help you identify all these things that we just talked about today. Google will do the same, and you'll be able to start small. So you want to focus on the basic metrics, look at page views and bounce rates, and say, what can I do to improve that page? And then just make small changes, incremental changes to improve site performance. That means don't have a picture that's this size on your site be this size in real life. You want to minimize the pictures. So the resolution doesn't need to be a HD 1080p picture. You want to have it down to like 960 pixels or 600 pixels, depending on the size of the image on your site. So you want to compress those images. That's another tool you can use. There are a lot of different ways to compress images on the internet, but that will load your site faster. With really not much loss in quality of the images either. So your images are still high quality at that point. Let's see here. You want to use tools like Google Search Console to improve visibility, but remember that in this market, that's not the only thing that's going to get you seen, having people search for you. You want to be driving them here with your marketing on Facebook, your marketing on Instagram, and all that, the grassroots type of marketing that you're working on, bringing people to your website, whether that's for your lead magnet, which is really the thing you're really kind of directing them with, or just saying, hey, if you want to learn more about this group trip, here's my website link for that. And you'll be able to see if that's working for you through these analytics. So next, I want to open the floor for questions. If anybody has questions, let's see here how I can unmute. I'm going to allow the mic for everybody. If anybody has questions, just speak up and I'm happy to go over stuff more in depth. And I'm also right now ready to show you some actual analytics tools, but I just want to know if anybody had questions first to be able to make sure I'm showing things that are relevant to you. So everybody can unmute their mic now if they want to and ask a question, just let me know. Or put it in the Q&A. It looks like there's something in the chat. Hold on. Oh, somebody's AI assistant taking notes. All right, I'm going to bring over, let me escape that. Bring over this. So this is independent analytics. Here you can go through your website. And so this is the back end of a WordPress website. I don't know how many people have WordPress. A couple of you work with me and have WordPress, and we're going to have this set up on your website as well, and I can show you how to use it. Through here, you can see, I don't have any blog posts on this website, so it's not going to tell me my blog posts are doing well. But the tool will tell you which one of your blog posts is most interesting, and you can lean into that and have more blog posts like that to drive more traffic to your site. So if you're really scoring on top 10 tips to the Caribbean, talk about the Caribbean a little more. See if you can drive more people to those blogs, and or maybe it's the format of top 10 tips, of different destinations, and experiment and see what's happening over time in your analytics. I can see my top landing pages. So over the last 30 days, my home page is the #1 landing page, followed by setting up a sync meeting with me to our Wanderlust campus offer and our Black Friday deal over the last 30 days. You can see the refers. So what this means is what links are people following to get to your website? In this case, most people in the last week came direct. That means they typed in suitcasedesigns.com in their address bar, and website opened up right away. Half the people came through Google Ads. 7 people came through Montes Pro. I know that's Legato's activity stream. Somebody posted something about us there, and obviously people found us through there. I can see people coming from Wanderlust CEO, and then through a multitude of other smaller sites, like 4 people from Facebook. So that means I could lean into Facebook a little more, but as far as working on what we're doing there from my marketing standpoint and being more engaging, and one person found me on Threads. We might be able to work a little harder on Threads. You can see what cities people are coming from. So are people searching from your local area and finding you, or in my case, all across the country? Somebody from Ashburn, Virginia. We've had 10 visitors from there. So I'd want to find out more about that somehow. 10 visitors, 10 views. Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. And some of these might be clients I already have. The same with you. So if you know where your clients are from, you can say, oh, that's Jim and Sally, and they're just checking out the website because they wanted to read the blog. They're not a new client necessarily. But as you get to know people, you'll know who's behind your metrics. For some of them, for your clients. Devices people are on. So it tells you what browsers people are coming in on. Over the last 30 days, Chrome has been the most popular browser, followed by Safari. But really interesting is OS, operating system. Windows, so people are on their desktop, laptop, Windows computers. iOS, so a good third of the people coming to our website came through Apple cell phones, iPhones, and Android phones too. 42 people came through Android. So what that means is people are looking at my website primarily, probably on their first time. Over half our people are looking at their phones to see our website. You want to make sure your website is optimized for mobile. If it's not, you're going to see higher bounce rates. If it's loading slow on your phone, you're going to see higher bounce rates because people don't wait around. We don't have the attention span anymore. They're going to be, you'll see them hit your website, it'll start to load, and they're off. Or if your website, your words are off the page, things aren't, centered on the screen, so it's easily to be scanned and read, they're going to be gone too. And you can see, the session duration. Someone spends an average of 1:40 on the homepage there, coming through iOS. Android, a little better, 5:07. So, maybe make sure on Apple phones that the website's looking okay. Usually, if you do it for one cell phone type, it'll look good on both. I don't have it activated on this site yet, but real time, you'll be able to look at on our websites with Wanderlust CEO. We're going to be activating Independent Analytics Pro. You'll be able to see what people are doing real time on your website from page to page. You'll be able to track clicks specifically on buttons and links and see how they're doing, and follow any ad campaigns that you have and see how they're working. Google Search Console, I want to show you that as well. So this is an overview. It says we've had 70 total web search clicks in the last 3 months. Now, this is something you're going to want to see, the indexing. it says I have 60 not indexed pages. Now, normally that'd be alarming. In my case, I want to go look at pages. The green is indexed, the 60 not indexed here. I can go down here and see the reasons they're not indexed. So for example, 404 not found. I click on that and I'm looking through here and I realize, okay, these are old subdomains I used to have of just portfolio websites that we've taken down. So Google at one time served those up, but no longer does. So it's not re-indexing them anymore. So they don't want to put it in search because there's nothing there for them to find. But this lets you know why it hasn't been found. So I've got crawled currently not indexed 20 pages, but I look through here again. These are old pages that I know I don't need indexed, or I don't want, like, I don't need to serve up my meeting link for a kickoff meeting in Google search results. You know, that's something they'll find through us, through our process. So I'm not worried about that. You can do a URL inspection, so you can see if a URL is healthy on your website. So this URL, not on Google, I'm going to request indexing because this is a new one for us, our Black Friday deal we just put up. And so it's testing if it can be indexed. So after it does this, it's going to say, yes, it can. It's going to put it in a queue. And by tomorrow, it'll be searchable in Google search results. It'll come up. So taking a minute or two. I promise that's what it's going to say. Take a quick drink. I'm not going to make you wait for this. I'm going to come back to this later and do that. So something else that's interesting, this links button down at the bottom of Google search, you can see how many indexing came through, added to a priority crawl queue. So they're going to put it in the queue. It'll be crawled tomorrow morning. You can search that on Google and find our Black Friday deal, or anybody who's looking for a Black Friday website deal. That'll be on Google tomorrow. This shows linking page. So a big thing for SEO, and I know this is kind of side to analytics, is having links in and out of your website, within your website, and then people linking to your website. So you want, you know, whether it's the Better Business Bureau, or you're writing a guest blog for some local magazine or newspaper and then link back to your website, things like that. This will tell you how many links are on their pages back to your website. So that's a good thing for your SEO. It's a good thing to know. And you can also see if anybody's linking to you that you don't want to be linking to you for any reason. If for some reason you want to be associated with a certain business, or you know, I can't think of one that you wouldn't want to be, but just in case, like this one says temporary site, that's a dead link. I've looked at it. It's nothing, but I'd want to make sure it's something I knew for sure. Like AmericanPodcast.com. First, I was like, why is that in there? I don't know who American Podcast is. Then I remembered we did a podcast with Kelly Smith on a Wonderlust CEO earlier this year, and that tracked it, brought it up, and kept our link with it. So then I was okay. Nobody's just like linking to us inappropriately for any reason. If you want to remove a page from indexing, for any reason you don't want your groups trip page to be found in search, for maybe it's a limited group that you're trying to put together for someone specifically, and you only want it to be on your website for that group that you know is working with you, you can ask Google to remove the URL, the website address, from search. So they'll take it out for you. So if I really wanted to work hard and clean up our subdomains from those sample sites we used to have, I'd go through here and go through everyone to tell it that's outdated content, and we take it out of search. Google's already taken it out of search, so it's not a problem. This performance button, this is where you really want to see from an analytics standpoint, how you're doing. So over the last 3 months, we've had 1,710 impressions. That's people who see your website come across the Google search results in front of them. They've searched for travel agent near me and your website's on the page. That's an impression. 72 total clicks. That means 72 of those people have clicked on our website and come through. Average click-through rate is 4.2%. That's actually pretty good. You want between, above 2, 5 is great. It seems low, but you got to consider how many people are coming through the internet at any one time searching for this stuff. And this tells us how many impressions come through the best. Recently, it's been Suitcase Designs and Travel Agency Website Design have had the most impressions. We've got to do better to get more clicks on those is what this tells us. It tells us what pages are most popular, our homepage. So, and our average position in search right now is 36. So we need to get that up because when people search for Suitcase Designs, we're at the top. When people search for Travel Agency Website Design, there's a little more competition. So we need to keep working on our SEO to get that up. That's what those analytics tell us. And that is about all I have right now. We're going to keep doing webinars. We're looking at the third Thursday of every month for different topics. So be on the lookout for that. If you missed anything, we're going to put this recording in our Facebook group, Travel Websites Pro. So if you go Facebook, present this again. Facebook.com/groups/travel websites pro. We're going to put this recording in there this afternoon after it's finished processing. If you have a question that we can help you answer directly, you can find us in that group. You can also find us at hello@suitcasedesigns.com. So, you're welcome, Suzanne. I'll talk with you later. Excellent. So everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for coming out, and be on the lookout for our next webinar, December 19th.